I think it's vital. I think it's an essential quality of a long-lasting business. Being proactively trustworthy. Let me just give you an example. America Online and Apple Computer. Okay, they're both digital companies. They both came up in the dot-com era. AOL, however, they made their money largely by fooling customers into paying more than they had to pay for their subscription and making it ridiculously difficult to quit the service. If you go on YouTube and search for AOL, you'll see videos of people, recordings of a customer service agent requiring the death certificate of a guy's brother before they canceled his account, that kind of thing. And AOL never had the trust of its customers, fundamentally. As opposed to Apple, Apple always was maniacally focused on the user experience, what's right for the user. So as one of the speakers earlier said, you know, Apple was playing an infinite game. I think it was Simon Sinek said, Apple played an infinite game because they were trying to promote the connectivity and the lifestyles of their users, whereas Microsoft was playing a finite game. They just wanted to beat Apple. What Apple did fundamentally was frequently they made decisions which were financially bad in the short term, but very good in the long term, in the infinite game. And so, for instance, in 2006 or 7, Apple was supposed to bring out the PowerPC Mac. It was a Macintosh with an Intel chip to do Windows better. Their sales were off, and most of the analysts downgraded the stock. However, one analyst called the contact center at Apple and asked for a PowerPC Mac. And the contact center person, the rank and file person at Apple, said, yes sir, we have the PowerPC. I can ship it to you today if you want, but the Intel chip isn't in it yet. It's not up to par. It will be available next quarter if you call back. You might want to do that. Okay, I'll do that. And they upgraded the stock because they said, what kind of company would counsel you not to buy something? You're ready to pay them money and give them hundreds of dollars in profit, but they, you know, a kind of company that's going to be around forever. AOL at one point was the largest, one of the 10 largest companies in the world. And it was the largest merger in U.S. history when they bought Time Warner. And now they're out of existence. They were bought by Verizon for $1.5 billion or something like that, like 1 or 2% of their former value. And by the way, AOL was never able to make a transition from dial-up to broadband. They never made that transition they became broadband, but they never really recovered their business model. They never were able to do that. Apple was a computer company, then they became a music company. Then they launched the iPod, then they became a phone company. They single-handedly created the tablet category. And at every juncture, Apple fans wanted more. They supported them because they knew that Apple was always focused on the user experience. When AOL went out of business, nobody even noticed. No one. It was barely in the news. If Apple went out of business tomorrow, you'd have rioting in every major Western city. People would go on strike. So the lesson there is build your business for the long term, for the infinite game. Focus on trust as a mechanism, as a rudder, so that you always have a cause or a mission that lies outside of your business model per se.